So something that I've noticed in a lot of crochet tutorials is that they don't tell you exactly what tools you need. They'll just say, here's the crochet hook that I used, here's the yarn that I used, but they don't tell you what else you need. So in this tutorial, I am going to tell you what I like to crochet with, tools that I bring everywhere with me, but not including just the crochet hook and the yarn. So I'd say the number one thing that you need to take with you everywhere, besides just a crochet hook and yarn, is scissors. I usually use these titanium embroidery scissors. Just like anything that's sharp enough to cut yarn will work. And preferably something very portable, like if you've got those big old fabric scissors, I would not recommend taking them everywhere with you because it might be interpreted as a weapon, which you do not want. You do not want people to think you have a weapon with you. Something else that I think is very important for crocheting is like a yarn needle with a blunt tip. The blunt tip is very important because you do not want to accidentally poke your fingers. An alternative to a yarn needle for weaving in ends is to just use a crochet hook. You can just use a smaller crochet hook. The trick to using a crochet hook to weave in ends is to insert the hook from the opposite spot where you usually would. So with a needle, if you were going to weave in ends like this, and then pull the needle through, instead you would want to insert the crochet hook from the other end, and then grab the yarn with it, and then pull it back through. And that's just what I like to do. Of course, you can just use your regular crochet hook if you don't have a smaller one, but anything works. The last tool that I think is very important is a measuring tape. Goodness, that was loud. I think a measuring tape is very important to me because, it's made for measuring stuff. Of course, if you're making a clothing item for yourself especially, you can just wrap the item around your body as needed just to see if it fits, which sometimes I think works better than using a measuring tape, but I think that a measuring tape is only really necessary if you're making it for a specific person. You just need to know what their measurements are. So those 3 tools are the main 3 tools that I bring with me everywhere. Thank you for watching. I appreciate the views. Like and subscribe if you can. And see ya.